Well, if you think girls don't know about sports, you've never met our next guest. You've seen her on Who's the Boss and Charmed, but now Alyssa Milano has her own brand of sports fan clothing made just for women. I have a couple pieces of them from her last visit. They're fantastic. And now she has a brand new book about her love for baseball called Safe at Home. Good morning to you, Alyssa.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
I have to say that the hat and the jacket are two of my favorite items.
I'm so glad.
You saw that there was this hole in the marketplace for women who love to go to sporting events.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I've been a huge sports fan forever, and I just got tired of going into the stadium shops and not finding anything that sort of fit my fashion needs or my body. So I pitched this idea, and Major League Baseball had the exclusive for the first year, and this is the third year, and it's been a great success, and we've got the licensing for NBA and NHL.
Fantastic. And we're looking at some of the Lakers stuff and Cavaliers stuff. Like, what's the difference between that and the other stuff you buy in the stadium shop? Because it looks kind of like it.
Well, you know, it's more of a sort of fashion-forward take on what's already in the stadium shops. Also, in the stadium shops, you find a lot of pink.
Yeah.
And I just
if it's for girls, let's put it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a pink Yankees cap. It's a pink everything.
The women love it. Just make it pink.
Let's just say your cuts are a little different.
That's what my wife tells me, that these things actually fit a woman, and the things before were just boxy.
Yeah, or they would take
a little tight on you, Dave?
They were a little tight on me, especially, well, we'll just stop right there.
Or they would just take kids' sizes and say, okay, this is
That's essentially what they were. We also want to ask you about this book, the new book, Safe at Home. And folks, Alyssa Milano is a huge baseball fan, but it's also a book about the relationship between you and your father, and you kind of bonded through baseball growing up, right?
I did. When I moved out to Los Angeles from New York, I'm originally from New York, it was just my dad and I for the first year when I got Who's the Boss, because I had a brother and my mom wasn't ready to up and, you know, move the whole family across the country. So baseball became my way to connect with my father. And so the book is really about that sort of relationship, and I use different points of my life and baseball as a mirror to reflect that time in my life. So it's very exciting.
And you also talk about how this would be a wonderful relationship for other families to do as well, for fathers to take sons, daughters, moms, whatever the case is, because it's a tradition and it's a way to bond.
It is, and I think that, you know, we're in a time where anything that can bring a family together, any sort of event that you could go to together, and whether it be a basketball game or a baseball game, whatever it is, I think it's important. And plus you're sort of rooting for your community, which I don't think really happens much
That's
anymore.
a great point.
Yeah, and you know, times are tough right now, and money's tight, and it doesn't have to be a professional team. It can be your local high school team. It can be anybody.
Absolutely. I mean, I know that there's some great, you know, baseball teams, the AAA team, there's a Coney Island team, there's in Staten Island, there's a great, so it's, you know, I think it's important to get families together.
Dave and I are starting a stickball team.
We
are. Are you? Can I play?
Do you want to play?
Yeah.
Okay, you can pitch.
Okay, excellent.
I do want to ask you, though, you were a fan growing up, as we said, with your dad, and now it's a different game now. And you know these players, you've dated a few, you acknowledge such. The whole steroids thing in the game, does it alter how you perceive this game and how you grew up watching it with your dad?
I think, you know, I think that baseball has gone through a lot of hard things in the past, cheating scandals in the past, and I think the steroids era is reflective of where we are socially. I think that you can't turn on the TV without seeing some sort of pharmaceutical commercial about something that cures everything, you know, or an actress over 40 that hasn't had Botox, you know, and I think steroids is reflective of that time that we're in. And I understand players wanting to look for an edge. They've done it, you know, throughout baseball history.
There are millions of dollars on the line.
There are.
Well, now you are happily engaged.
I am happily engaged.
A lot of men are very upset about that, Alyssa.
I'm sorry.
The whole crew here.
She's taken now, folks.
Oh, creepy.
So when is the wedding?
We haven't set a date yet. It's been so crazy.
Ahead. Set it right now.
Maybe sometime in 2010.
Okay, don't say the Dodgers, but who's going to win the World Series? You can't pick your own hometown
I don't
team.
make predictions. That's the beauty of sports. You never know how a season's going to unfold.
Isn't that the truth?
All right.
Alyssa Milano, if people are more interested in more information about your clothing line, you got a website?
You know, you can go to fandalia.com for the clothing line, and also I'm going to be at the NBA store today.
In New York.
From 1 to 2 in Manhattan, yes.
And you can meet Alyssa.
Please come down and meet me. I'd be happy to sign something for you.
We got all your stuff at foxandfriends.com too. So
okay,
great. Get all the links. Just go to our website. You can find out everything you want to know about Alyssa.
I'm also on Twitter.
Oh,
you too.
You are? Oh,
Yep.
I'll follow you.
And check out her book, Safe at Home.
That's right.
Great book.
Meanwhile, we understand that Griff Jenkins, who is positioned just across the street